Hi, this is Dave Dini. This is an impromptu video from my perspective of the auto industry right now and the best way to combat what's going on with the coronavirus and shelter in place rules. There's just a lot of unknowns. So I wanted to just give you my take on where things are right now. So this is somewhat casual. I might mess up a bit, correct myself a few times. It's as candid can be. But I thought I would throw something out there to the auto industry, whether you're an owner, a general manager, a sales manager. You might be looking for a job right now in the auto industry. But the main reason I'm doing this, I think that it's important that owners and general managers, before they make decisions on, do I lay everybody off? Do I shut down completely until things change? That maybe you get a little bit of a perspective from somebody that's not in your organization, or that doesn't benefit directly from you keeping the doors open or not. My business, we're not just in lead generation, which we do through digital marketing or through an email blast. We do things like we get lists for dealerships and we, hit those lists for them. We are also the BDC for dealerships. So my phones are constantly ringing, or our computers are being continually alerted whenever a lead comes in. Since the middle of March, when things started slowing up in Illinois, and Illinois was impacted by the shelter-in-place rules from the governor, and the auto industry was declared essential, but hours changed. Hours changed to mirror the service hours. The phone hasn't stopped ringing. We're getting just as many leads for our dealerships in Illinois, but maybe to help you, not just in Illinois, in Texas, in Arkansas, in Alabama, where we have dealerships, in Washington, the state of Washington, in California, in New York. Obviously, big changes happened in New York, but California as well. But right now, just outside of New York and California and all the other states, we're getting leads constantly, just as many. The other thing that's remained consistent or a constant is in our equity mining, our approach to calling cold a customer. Just as receptive as they were before all this went down. So the thing that changed for the dealer and the dealership is organic traffic. BDC and maybe some equity mining represents usually around 30% of what a dealership does. That's still there. Now, if you grow that or enhance it because you make all your salespeople work, or whatever ones you have left, pound the telephone, business will be pretty good. Now, if you're used to selling 200 cars, are you going to sell 200? It's going to be difficult. It can happen. It's going to be difficult. But you're still going to sell 80 to 100 because you got to do just a little bit more work on the telephones. Everyone's got to work. Your best have to work. If you've laid people off in the BDC that you have, they got to really become experts. And they don't have to become the greatest of the great, but they got to pound that phone daily, all day. And what else is anybody doing? So people aren't allowed to just walk in because of the shelter-in-place rules. So work the telephone. Work the heck out of it. If you're open, your people shouldn't be doing anything else but. Don't let them give you any excuses. Go back the last 30 days. Go back the last 60 days. Use the showroom misses. They should be pounded. Why? In part, too, because of all the changes. 0% financing on a lot of vehicles for a lot of manufacturers. 90-day deferred, 120-day deferred. This is free money and no payments. And the public, their IQ is way up and they have time on their hands. So they know it's out there and available. They just need somebody. They just need to hear from somebody. They need to hear from your dealership that it's okay, that we're going to be able to help you. And they're ready for the appointment, where before sometimes they'd be a little bit hesitant. Oh, I don't need to set an appointment. I am so-and-so. I cut my deals this way and that way. Well, ma'am, sir, the only way you can buy a car right now with the shelter-in-place rules is by setting an appointment. Otherwise, we can't see you. So it's actually making it easier to set an appointment. And the people like it. They're going to get a sanitary or disinfected personal showroom visit. So believe me when I tell you, the leads, especially if you're still spending the same amount of money, they will stay constant for you, stable and steady. Equity mine right now. Use the phone. And you'll set up your appointments and these people will show. The show ratios are going from maybe 45% to 75%. Because the people know they have to be there. You tell them in the close, look, no disrespect, I'm not pushy, but if you're setting this appointment, we expect you to be there. If you were to miss it, it would take away an opportunity for somebody else. So do you foresee any reason why you wouldn't be able to make this appointment? We'd like to know now. People say, no, I'll be there. And they'll be there. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, important. We want to give you some know-how. I know it might sound simple, but a lot of BDC people, personnel, they've been pretty good at responding to leads, but they might not be as tactful in these fragile times of how to communicate. So we're going to give you a video with some role playing in it on how to. Okay, you got to give that customer some reasons to come to your dealership besides the same old ho-hum. Hey, come on in here. We got that vehicle. No, come in here because we value you. We understand what's going on right now in this nation of ours. And we're here for you. And we want what you're driving. Of course, you got to go through that. Talk to them about what they're driving. We're not going to auction to buy vehicles. Well, let's talk about yours. Well, I'm not trading. I know you're not. But I'm just curious, what are you driving? How are you getting here? Next thing you know, you're talking about their vehicle and placing a great demand on it. Before you know it, between the 0% financing, the deferred payments, the possibility of getting them the very best deal they're ever going to get based on what's going on in the circumstances of the nation, and the demand for the trade, for what they're driving, well, it's the perfect storm. And it's easy. And you could build a lot of traffic just by using the telephone, the greatest marketing tool ever invented. It still works. It's the best way to do things. And there's dealerships out there selling lots of cars. I can give you some examples. I don't want to drop names right now, but some of you that know me, but you can ask us, you can call. We're doing our equity mining for many dealerships. We're a BDC for many, but there's a bunch that needed our help because of layoffs. So I said, no problem. We'll do this extra work. Just last weekend, dealerships doubled and tripled the amount of new cars sold just because we helped them set a whole bunch of appointments. The leads are there. It just has to be handled right. So we're going to give you a few videos on how we know we can help you handle those leads and get your internal staff to handle it. If you need our help, we've got a couple of COVID relief packages, if you will, that will help you, make ends meet, if you will, sell a bunch of cars, maybe help you get a certain amount of dollars that you want to get for VGP. VGP may have stopped for some manufacturers, but they're still giving you X amount of dollars per new car sold. We can help you with all that stuff. So I just wanted to say that. This is from Dave Dini, Paramount Lead Solutions. You know our number. We're going to include that in the email. Okay? Thank you.